This is Telika. Welcome to Learning Ladder of C language. In this tutorial, we are going to discuss about while loop, control loop structure. In C, the while control loop structure is used for the repeated execution of a block of statements with respect to our condition. Thus, here I have specified the syntax for the while loop conditional control loop structure. First, we have to use while keyword and the curved braces. Inside these curved braces, we have to specify the condition. After this, we have to use in flower braces. Inside this flower braces, we are going to write a statement which we have to execute for the this condition. Now let's see the working function of this while control loop structure. Here I am written a small example program for this while control loop structure. First, let me compile this program. Yeah. For our understanding purpose, I am declaring slash new line. Yeah. Here in this printf statement, I am used to print Tendulkar. We are getting 5 times Tendulkar in the output screen. This is why because let we discuss why this happens in the while loop. First, in the first step, I am initializing this I variable with the value of 0. So this 0 constant is stored in this I variable. So inside this while loop condition, I am declare I is less than 5 condition. So on the first iteration, this I value is 0. So it's going to check that 0 is less than 5. Obviously, it is true condition. So it is true. Hence, it is true. This block of statements is going to be executed. In this block, I am using a single printf statements to print Tendulkar in the output screen. After printing this Tendulkar and the second statement, I am incrementing this I variable. So this I will now become it a 1. So after incrementing this I value, this block is going to be ended. Once it reaches an ending block, after directly the C compiler once again go to the while loop and it's going to check for the condition. Now the newly updated I value is 1. Now the condition is I less than 5. Obviously it's also true. So this printf statement is going to be executed, and the second iteration the value of I becomes 2. So now it's 2, it's going to check with 5. So obviously this is rotated until the 5 statements. And the fifth execution of this loop, the I value will be 4 to 5 incremented. So now the I value is newly updated I value is 5. So now the while loop is going to check that 5 is less than 5. It is a false condition. So we are not going to execute this block. It's going to quit this block and it come to the end of the program. So for this reason, we are getting Tendulkar in the output command prompt 5 times. So now you may have a doubt that while we are having for loop condition, then why we have to use this while? So there is a small difference between this for loop and the while loop. Let me explain in this. Here I implemented the same program with this for loop. Now let me show you the difference. For using the for loop condition in the program, first we have to know the number of iteration we have to do before we are giving the condition in this for loop. So for this, if suppose I am using a while loop condition, suppose I'm not sure about that how many times this while loop has to be executed, then we have to use the while loop. Now I am just a small modulation that's done in this program. Here I am not declaring this I variable increment operation. Directly I am going to get this I value from the scanf statement. So let's compile this program. Here in the first installation we are getting Tendulkar in the output screen. If suppose I am entering any value less than the 5, then I am going to get Tendulkar in the output screen. If suppose I am using the same 5 or greater than 5, the program is going to be quit. This flexibility can be provided only through this while loop, not from the for loop condition. This is why, because before we are using the for loop, we should be sure about the number of iterations that this block of statement has to be done. So if suppose I am in the application requirement that I have to get the condition from the user, then better to go for while loop. This is the main difference between for loop and while loop. This is why the reason the while loop is came to the picture into the C program. Now let me explain what happened while using the scanf statement. In the first iteration, the I value will be 0, so the 0 is less than 5, condition is true. In the first iteration, it's directly going to print telegram. Then the next line is going to ask value from the user. If suppose user enter 3 in the sense, automatically it going to check once again the condition 3 is less than 5, so it is true, so a printf statement is going to execute. If suppose the user enters the greater than 5 value, automatically this condition is going to be false, so this printf statement is not going to be executed. So for getting the dynamical condition statements, we have in the position to use while loop. This is the basic functionality of a while control loop structure. In the next tutorial, we see in deep about this while loop control structure, how it's work in variable conditions. Thank you. Don't forget to subscribe to get alert for the next tutorial.